Good morning, it's Margaret Eden at the University of Sewing and it is Facebook Live. All right, and we have Eden today, and we are going to give away this cute little Riley Blake bag. And remember, all you have to do, folks, to win the prizes that we offer on our Facebook Live is you have to share within 24 hours of us posting, and you have to put in the comment section that you shared, because our privacy settings are different now. And so we can't see everybody who shared, and a lot of you have changed your privacy settings because you just don't want any creeper going on your Facebook page, and I totally get it. So make sure that you hit shared and then come into the comments and let us know you did it, and we'll enter you into the drawing to potentially win this. Now, some of you might be new and you're saying out there to yourself, but Margaret, I live in California, or Margaret, I live in Kentucky, or Margaret, I live somewhere else. No problem, we'll mail it to you. But of course, you'll have to give us your address so we can do that. And don't you want to be part of our email list? Because I'm going to just tell you, if you're part of our email list right now, you will get the email for starting. Guess what next week starts?
What?
Christmas in July.
That is great.
So Christmas in July is really cool. Were you here last year for Christmas in July? I didn't think you were. So last year, what we did was every week we had a different sale going on. This year, we'll do the same thing. So you have to be part of the email list to see what those are. Now, the really cool thing about this is that if you go into our website, you're just going to start seeing all kinds of things that are going to populate and tell you what the sale is. So the really bad part is I remember what the second week is, and I remember what the fourth week is, but I don't remember what the first week is. So I can't tell you right this second, but what I'll do is after this is over with, I'll go ahead and post on Facebook what all of them are, and on our YouTube page, I'll post what all of them are. So I apologize for not remembering, but I slept since I made that email up and set up those sales. So, but the one thing I need help from you guys, I set up all the sales. They're supposed to go on. We're not supposed to have any problem with it. The system's supposed to do it automatically. Technology and me, we're not always friends. So if you have any problems after you get your email and you know what the sale is and you try to do it and there's a problem, guess how they can fix that?
They can call. And we will answer.
And we will correct it for you. So do not worry if that happens. Just make sure you call us so we can fix it. So I think that everything will work. I tested something yesterday and it looked like it was going to work.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, the only thing we can do is try our best, right?
Yeah.
But
Please,
I did computers. Yeah. Well, and the other problem has been is that our whole area got hit with a really bad storm a couple of days ago. And they're still sorting out the internet. They're still sorting out the power. Do you have power at home?
Thankfully, yes.
Yes. So we have power now. We were without it for 3 days at home. Fortunately, the shop never lost power. And I totally believe it's because Duke's got a power station across the street from us. And so I think that we weren't going to lose power. So that was kind of cool. All right, we have some really cool things to talk about today, but I want to do a shout out for some of the people we saw from the week we were in Detroit. So we were in Detroit for a whole week for Bernina University. And if you were on here yesterday with us for Facebook Live, you heard a little bit about it. But what I didn't talk about is we got to see all of our vendors. So we got to see Morton from Stof. We got to see George from Horn. Now, what am I talking about? Stof Knits is Morton. He's from Denmark and he's from Stof Knits and he's just a lovely person. And he was there and we got to see him several times. I'm going to show you something here in just a little bit that they gave me an idea, and I'm going to show you how we're putting it together. because I think it's really exciting. So I've got a jacket cut out over here behind it.
Over there.
Yeah. So then we saw our lovely friends from Colonial Needle. Now, Colonial Needle is a really great company. They make wonderful thimbles, they make wonderful needles, and they make Presencia thread. So I've got it right behind us. So Dave, show off this. We've carried for a long time these small spools. We now carry the big 500-meter spools. So those are going to be here now, guys. So
and how do we get that, Margaret?
Well, we drove it home.
Oh my gosh.
It was kind of entertaining to have this with our luggage, but it wasn't so big. And when we went to Quilt Market in Kansas City in 2018, I think it was 2018, maybe 2019. I forget which one it was. We went to that one, and we were able to go ahead and get the small spool holder. Now we're going to have the big ones. So this is going to be really nice, as we're going to have a big selection. This is 100% cotton thread. And when we got this in the other day and brought it in the shop, we had a woman come in, and I've seen her once or twice. She doesn't live locally. But what was really interesting is the first thing she said is, "Oh my God, you carry that thread." And I said, okay. I was shocked. She goes, "It is so much better than so many other cotton threads because it leaves no lint." She said, after 3 bobbins, I might have to dust out my machine a little bit. But cotton thread is notorious for being very linty. So this was nice to hear that she really loved it. And she said she was really glad to find someplace local that she could buy it.
And she bought 4 spools.
And she did. So
they have really great color selection.
Yes,
I
it is.
was just looking for a green, like exactly like one of those.
Yes, they have a wonderful color selection. It's got a lot of different things in here. I love having a variety of neutrals, and they certainly have that. So we are in good shape with that. Now, I am going to tell you, when buying online, if you know the color number, you can buy it online right now, but you have to tell me what the color number is. I am going to get the individual colors put online eventually, but as you can tell, they have quite a few.
They do have quite a few.
So it's going to take a minute for us to do that. So I just want you to know, if you want some of this thread and you want to go ahead and order it, if you don't see it very easily, just call us. We'll get you the colors you want and send it off to you happily. Guess what's behind me?
A lot of fabric.
Well, but what kind is it? Do you know what it is? It's minky. And look how big it is.
It's huge.
It's 90 inches wide, guys. If you've been looking for something for the back of a quilt and you've wanted some 90-inch wide minky, we now have purple, navy, I'm going to pull it around here if it'll let me, teal, and gray. So, and it's actually reasonable. It's not any more expensive than what you would pay for any wide back. It's only $19.90 a yard. And
great.
It feels great, guys. It's really, really nice. So for those of you who've been asking for it, it's here. So I wanted to make sure we talked about that today. All right. So you know what I forgot? There is a pattern for that. It's a little postcard pattern, and it's on that front cabinet. If you can get that, it's a triangle one. It's really cool. I want to show people that today. All right. So we have got some patterns sitting out here and some fabric sitting out here. But before I go to that, I want to make sure I show off, because we only got these as fat quarter bundles. This is called Ebb and Flow from Wyndham Fabric. And look how cute these are. So these are beautiful. It's a 32 piece fat quarter bundle. I believe that's correct. And this is called Ebb and Flow from Wyndham. It should be on our latest arrivals. It's got some great solid coordinates, but it's got these beautiful little accents of gold, and it is lovely. So I wanted to make sure you guys saw that. It's very, very pretty. Look at these. One's prettier than the next. I can't believe how cool these are. So I got these because I think we all need a little bright and colorful in our lives. These are really lovely, guys. So go ahead and if you go online to universityofsewing.com, it shows all the different colors that are in this group. So very, very beautiful. Wanted to make sure you saw this. And but we only got it as fat quarter bundles because I just thought that we needed a touch of it, but I wasn't sure we needed all of it. So over here, let's talk about this. Do you guys remember the peacock fabric? So the peacock fabric, it's in a like a little box that is clear glass with bubbles on it. It's on the very top shelf of where the books and the patterns are at, honey. Okay, so I don't know if you remember this fabric, but this fabric is so beautiful. Oh, by the way, my dress, guys, I made this and it is fabric we have. So if you like it, you also can have something. But the peacock fabric with this wonderful flower below it and the beautiful butterflies on it. You know, big prints like this can be a little bit challenging to figure out how to use. So I'm at Bernina University last week and I see a jacket and all I could say is, oh my goodness, so gorgeous. So, so, so gorgeous. I look, not only do we have the fabric, we have the pattern, and I'm going to make one. So why don't you come on over here? Dave, you might need to cut. Do I need to turn it so that everybody can see it? I want to make sure that they can see this. So I don't know if you remember the, this is from C&T Patterns. And this, I've always looked at this and thought, well, I don't know. For number one, I thought it was complicated. And then we pull out the pattern pieces and I see this is so simple to make, guys. And this you can make out of a soft cotton or you can go ahead and make it out of a knit. And I thought, well, my goodness, making out of a knit is going to take no time whatsoever. But what we needed to do is we needed to go ahead and do a good job of laying out the fabric and putting the pattern pieces on it. So the first thing we did is we took the pattern pieces and we made the other side. So instead of trying to lay this out without having both sides, we laid the fabric out as a full piece. So it was only one layer. And then what we did was we made the other part of it so that we could lay it out and see what was going on. Now, if you have big tracing paper, then you can actually see the fabric underneath. I didn't feel like we needed that for this particular project, but if you want to make sure that you see exactly where everything's going, it makes a big difference if you can see the fabric underneath. So we laid the fabric out and figured out where we were going to have this particular. So what you're looking at right now is the front of the jacket. So we laid this out, the front of the jacket. Underneath, I've got the back of the jacket, but I've got it facing up so you guys can see it when I take these other pieces away. So what this jacket pattern essentially is two front pieces, a back piece, and then it has a number of facing pieces on it. And it's very, very simple. And notice that it has no set-in sleeves. They are constructed with the sleeves already on it, kimono style. So this is going to be very flattering for a lot of different people. Since you don't have to worry about a shoulder line, you don't have to do anything with shoulders. Very nice. And then let's go ahead and see what the back looks like. So now we've got the peacock and the flower, and this is the back. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this is going to be a stunner. This is
pretty.
So pretty. So what I'm going to do, I've got the facing pieces all cut out. It's got a cute little edge on the sleeves. But, you know, I love CNT patterns, but sometimes their pictures don't show off how beautiful their patterns are. The woman who designs this, her name is Karen Nye, and she's an incredible designer. And she has just got a natural affinity for how to design things to be very flattering for a variety of shapes. It is not an easy task, and she does an amazing job. So I am going to put this together, hopefully by next week, and I will show you what this is going to look like. It is so cute. So those of you who have those L890 sergers, or maybe you have a B68 Burnett serger, or you have just a 64 or an 860, by the way, those are really wonderful machines to be able to sew something like this together. I'm going to put this together on my serger, and then what I'm going to do is finish it up on, now I could finish it up on my serger because my serger is a cover stitch combo machine, but I'm curious, would you like to see it done with the sewing machine, or would you like to see it done with the chain stitch with the L890 cover stitch features? Because I can do either one.
Margaret, I was just thinking, this week we had probably a dozen people that come in and say, well, I don't sew clothes. And the same thing, I'm guessing people who are watching this video say, well, I don't sew clothes. But we inspired probably a dozen people that are now going to sew clothes.
The thing that's so interesting about sewing clothes is that it's not the techniques usually that stumble most of our sewers. That's not the problem. A lot of times what it is the fitting. So if you're local, remember we have the garment fitting workshops. Those are and they are something you want to do. They are so nice to be able to, you bring in mock-ups of your, say a shirt pattern, maybe you do one in knit, you do one in a woven, maybe you go ahead and do a pair of pants, or you do a skirt or a dress. I will fit you because that's my history. I have 30 years where I did custom sewing, alterations, and tailoring work for people. And so I'll fit you and I'll change your pattern. And then you're going to go home with a garment that actually, all you have to do is the construction. So the fitting will be taken care of. And I think that the thing that really people struggle with, like when I made this dress, the big problem for me was that the neckline was down to here. Not a good look for someone over 60. And the dress was extremely long. It would have been long enough for Eden. So I'm obviously only very short compared to Eden. She is closer to 6 foot. I'm closer to 5 foot. So it was not going to work. So I had to change the length of it, and I had to change this whole thing. But this dress is just a really, really simple Vogue pattern. A lot of the patterns out there you don't necessarily have to do a lot to them. So sometimes it's just a matter of adding some fabric, or I should say paper, into the pattern right through the middle of the body to give you enough length. Sometimes it's a matter of adjusting straps. Sometimes you can just do it off the bottom. But a lot of times the problem is that because you haven't done a bunch of this, you don't know what to do. I, on the other hand, did it for 30 years. So I can really help you with that.
And you make it fun.
And we make it fun. And you know what's really nice is that we've even had customers. I had a couple ladies come from Michigan, and they spent the day with us, and they got a hotel room, and they drove down, they spent the day, then they went back, and they spent the night, and then they drove back home. If you're within driving distance and you could end up with 3 or 4 patterns that fit you, and you could make your clothes, I mean, how much better is that than what's on the market right now? I don't know about you, but I think it's dreadful. There's a few places that have cute clothes. We have a really great little boutique in town called Mirth, but it's also very expensive to shop there. So if you want to make your own clothes and you want to do it out of really beautiful fabrics, yeah, it's going to cost you a little bit, but you know what? You can make it exactly the way you want it. It's really a nice feature. So, all right, guys. So I wanted you to see this. I wanted to show you how I do this, what my thought process was. And all I saw was the jacket at a show, and I kind of took that idea. Now, we have also several other big prints that are in our Stof collection. There's 4 of them that come to mind for me. Maybe this one isn't your taste. Maybe you don't like peacocks. Maybe you don't like butterflies or flowers. Well, we have one that is one of the cities, and I believe it may be in Shanghai. It's a gorgeous print of buildings and very, very interesting. Tomcat Stitchery made a gorgeous dress out of that fabric. Well, this is another way you could use that fabric. We also have another one that has an incredible, it's a leopard print in the background, and he's very subtle. He's gorgeous, but he's pretty subtle, and it's done in gorgeous dark greens. So what would you like and what do you want to do? So I'm trying to give you some ideas of how you can use those fabrics. You come in and you go, wow, you know, everybody needs a statement piece. These would be a great statement piece. So everybody needs one of those. Okay. One of the other things I wanted to show you were one of the other fabrics we have. And yeah. So we got this one in a few weeks before I left for Detroit. It is a Stof knit, and while it's a print, it's a very subtle print. And so what I'm going to do with this one next is I'm going to make this dress. So we have this great Vogue pattern. It's just and I'm going to make a dress out of it. It needs to be a knit for this particular pattern. But as you can see, you know, these gals probably are close to 6 feet tall. They always show them on really tall girls. So what I'll end up doing is I'll end up shortening it. But if I make it proportional for me, it's going to work. So I can see some of my lovely customers in something like this. Are you ready to maybe take the plunge? This doesn't require a ton of fitting. It's a very pretty pattern. And if you want to do something like that, you know, I think that you're going to find that it's not a hard one to work. Make it out of something inexpensive that you don't care about first, so you can make some adjustments on it, and I think you'll be much happier with it. So, some ideas for clothes. I was going to show you a butterfly quilt that we did recently, but I've got another one I'm working on, so I'm going to show you the 2 of them next week, and we'll have the pattern out for you. We got these done. We got the actual quilt tops done a couple weeks ago, but with the quilt show, or not the quilt show, the shop hop, and us going to BU, that didn't happen. So I'm in the middle of quilting the next one. So I'm going to show you how we quilted it and what patterns we used, and we're going to back them with minky, and it's going to be a ton of fun.
One of those?
So, no, not one of those. One of the ones we've had for a while. These are smaller quilts, so we could do it with the small. So these aren't that big. So these are really turning out cute, though. And Dave, if you want to give them a little sneak peek of what it is, it's right here. Don't forget, folks, that our Christmas in July sale is going to start next week. If you haven't gotten on our email list, drop me a email at info@universityofsewing.com, and I'll get you on our email list, and you too will know what all the sales are. But look on Facebook here in just a little bit. I promise I'll go ahead, and as long as the shop doesn't get swamped, I'll go ahead and put all those sale information on there for you, and you'll know what sales are coming up and the date lines for them. But I know that we're going to do OESD products. That means both Isacore thread and all the stabilizers are going to go on sale one week. Another week we're going to do kits. and I can't remember any of the other ones. So I'm sorry, I just can't. There's too many moving parts right now. We've been selling machines. We've been making deals with people. People are buying 990s. People are buying 790 Pros. You know, if you're thinking it's time for a new sewing machine, we're going to have an incredible group of really good used products coming into the shop. We're going to have wonderful deals. July is Bernina's big summer sale, July and August, and you should see the gifts with purchase. Did you see the flyer the other day when I put it out for everybody to look at?
Yeah.
So all kinds of gifts with purchase with sewing machines, all the way from your 4 series machines all the way up to the fancy ones. So buying a machine right now, you're going to get a lot of cool stuff.
And a machine.
And the machine is just breathtaking. All of our machines are so much fun to sew on. Mm-hmm. And now there's going to be even a better one.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, we're going to get that one. I'm hoping we're going to have it by the 3rd week of July.
The stuff I've seen about it is just insane. It's actually insane. That machine is crazy.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a good time with it, guys, and we're going to show you all the neat things we're doing. I hope that you had a wonderful day today. Saturday, it's beautiful outside here in Bloomington. I hope you will decide to come and visit us. We are here until 5 o'clock, and otherwise, we will see you on Facebook Live next Friday. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.